Alright, so you can find me around the Christmas season. I'm part of the Blue Man group now. Looks like I was fondling a Smurf. Yeah, I went over. This cab has so much old paint and primer all over it that it's sanding out like really nice. Okay, I went around and got every area. Well, I'm still gonna have to hand sand a couple of them, a couple areas where there's like indent, like bottom of the cab and stuff. So, like down here and around that little lip there, I'm gonna have to hand sand that, and then maybe down here around this curve and stuff. But as for the rest of this, I can power sand the rest of it. All we gotta do is we're gonna tape that up. We gotta take these trims off, which look like they would be fun to do because you can't get a power tool in on it, so you have to use a wrench to get those. Why would you even make something like that? Anyways, I'm going to be painting, like I said, across everything down here, and I'm probably going to tape maybe this inner door edge here, so I'm going to have to hand sand a lot of this, but I'm going to tape this inner door edge here, and we'll paint like the edge of the door down, and we're gonna paint part of the rocker and stuff. I'll have to sand it smooth, so whenever I paint the rest of it, it'll be all right. But I definitely need to drape plastic and cover the whole interior because I do not want overspray or anything on all of this niceness that I just, did. So we'll be just what. But I'm pretty sure I have enough time today, and this is just like a small project to do for a day. Like if you just want to paint a panel or something like that, it's actually pretty quick to do. The most time consuming part for this is going to be me blocking off the garage, setting up the vents, and masking everything off. Besides that, sand everything down with 400 to 600 grit. I got to continue hand sanding on a couple areas, but I got to get those trims off too. So let's see how easy they come off. I'm hoping they come off fairly easy. And I might have to get new ones. They're chrome. I'd like to paint them, have painted ones, but also I would also like to not even have them. But then if the doors don't fit right, they actually kind of cover stuff up so they look like they fit right. I don't know where I'm going with this yet. I just know that we're making progress, and as long as I keep moving forward, eventually this truck will be where I want it to be. So instead of sitting still and doing nothing, I'm doing something, and that's all that matters. So let's continue doing something and sand the rest of this cab out, and then we'll start masking. I just came up with what I think is one of the best ideas I've even thought of, and I don't know why I didn't think of it until now. My buddy has that powder coating business. That front grille trim that's like chrome, and the part that's on the fender, and this part above the doors, I'm going to have him powder coat them all. Makes sense. Powder coat them black. Yeah. That's a great idea. I'm freaking smart. Remind me to never talk shit again. This is gonna be a quick and easy one. No. And the more I got into it, I found some dents, and I'm just gonna forget about it. I'm just gonna paint over them, not worry about it. I can't do that. I got a dent in the cab right here. Like a decent one. And then there's a dent right here, just this very slight one. And I think there's another one down here somewhere. Nah, they're all smoothed out. There's one right there in the back, and I think you'll see it over the bed. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's so many layers on this thing, and I had to sand through so many of them. And I still have to sand through, like right there, it's a little rough. I'm going to have to sand that a little bit more. I got a hand sand in here down the corners where I couldn't really get it. And it's just, I was being optimistic. There's no way in heck I'm painting today. Okay? I already told myself this after I sanded this for a couple hours. So, no painting today, but I'm going to do it after work tomorrow. So I'm going to get all of this ready right now. This dent down here, there's a pretty decent dent down here. It's behind the bed. I'm not doing it, okay? Just the ones that are going to be visible, those are the ones I'm fixing. This is not worth going 110% on. I mean, it's worth putting a little effort in, but not. There's going to be so much of that I'm seriously going to have to just, if I want to get this thing done at a deadline on a budget, I'm going to have to forget some small things, okay? So, stuff that's not going to hurt the truck, I'm going to have to let go. But I can fix these right now while I have it like this. So, I'm going to get a little heavier grit out and go over top of these dented areas just so I know my putty grips good, because 400 makes that pretty smooth. It'll grip, but it'll grip a lot better if I sand that with 80 grit or 240. So I'm just going to get some hand sandpaper and just sand it real quick. But to save you guys a bunch of time, I'm going to finish sanding this up, and I'm going to have to remask some areas because I sanded through some tape and stuff. But I'll get back to you tomorrow, where we will be at the point where I can hit all the bare metal areas with self-etching primer real quick. Then we're going to hit it with sealer. Then we're going to go do our base coat and clear coat. We'll do it all tomorrow after work. Feel certain I'll have plenty of time. Get home around 5-ish. So 5 o'clock if I'm ready for... Yeah, I think we can do it. I wasn't going to wet the floor, but I almost feel like I need to, especially because I'm painting down there, and it's dusty down there. So I am going to wet the floors just on each side, right around in that area, so we don't kick dust up onto the cab corners or whatever. As you can see, we did a small amount of body work here and right here. Looks pretty good. I'm going to wipe everything. I already wiped everything down yesterday, and then I had to re-tape some areas where we sanded through tape. I'm going to lay down sealer first. I know I have a whole can of dark gray, so that's what we're going to use. And since we're doing one thing, we're starting with dark gray sealer, we're going to have to continue that on the whole truck, where your colors aren't going to match. So dark gray sealer for the whole truck, but this is where we're starting at, and we're going to see what it looks like. I'm kind of excited. I just know I want to get this done. I want to see what it looks like. So, let's go. A little bit over more of the process here. I got grease and wax remover right now. And we're just going to go over and wipe it. Just get every seam we can. Wipe down again. Now, self-etching primer, and I honestly just use this cheap iron armor stuff from Harbor Freight. It works just fine. Now if you have a spot where your paint around the bare metal is not bonded that well, it might lift it. That's the only downside. So if you have paint on bare metal that's not bonded that great, you'll see it once this stuff dries. I think all this paint is bonded pretty well. So there's a lot of areas that I got to hit with this, and we're just going to quickly go around and spot them all. I'm using this gun for my sealer. This is our sealer, dark gray. Yeah, it's chunky in the bottom. Let me mix this up, get it in the gun, and I'll get back to you. Mask up. Let's go. This is gonna seal all the body work in. So if you messed up, you messed up. It's sealed. Okay, I'm gonna start here. Just layer on there. All right, it's already starting to dry. You can see some of the dry areas already. So I need to take my gun downstairs to clean it. I'm gonna grab a different camera too. And then we're switching over to my base coat gun, where we're gonna lay down the color. I like this gun. I like it a lot. All right, so I am happy to show you guys this color. I'm excited. That's the clear that we're using. Here's the color. It is slick base, wool gray metallic base coat. That needs stirred up. I did show this color on the channel. If you guys are an avid subscriber that actually watches, you would have already seen this color. But most of you don't give a shit about the C10. Look how deep that silver is. It's wool gray. It's got like a goldish, grayish. It's a silver with a gold tint to it. It depends on how the light hits it. Oh, that's a nice color. I like it. Alright, so if you look at it, it's still drying in some areas, but you'll see some splotchiness, like the metallic didn't lay evenly. Now, the fix for your metallics, to get them to lay evenly, is now that you got a solid coat on there, you're going to go back away from it and mist it. Like, you would normally spray from right here, okay? I'm going to move back to like right here. That is going to let it disperse more. It's going to evenly go on. I'm going to do probably 2 coats like that. And we're going to see how it turns out. The lighting sucks because I'm spraying under the bed, but up there doesn't look the nicest anyway, so. But this is, if it looks good after this next coat, I might run right to clear coat. So 2 coats is normally enough, but I sometimes do a 3rd coat. So let's see how this next coat goes once it's ready. It's not flashed yet. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here. Then we're going to jump into that and we'll see what it looks like.
Now, as you can see, it's a lot more even now. I ran out of paint when I was almost done, so I mixed up more, so I have enough. I'm just going to do another coat just for good measure. But it does look good. I am loving this color. I love it. It's highly metallic. When the clear goes on, it's going to really pop. Yes, there's lots of dents in the back of the cab. I worked a couple of them out, but I mean, there was a lot. So this is not a top dollar ride when I'm done with it. It's going to be a nice one, but it's not going to be top dollar, like 25 grand, what big ones are bringing. So we're going to make it look as nice as we can for the price budget we are on. Also, I didn't have my fan pattern wide enough, and when I was spraying it, I was misting it, but it was still going on splotchy, and I made my fan pattern a little bit wider, and that fixed it. So make sure your fan pattern is wide enough, and also make sure your air pressure is high enough too. Left coat. Now, I've said this many times before, a lot of people argue with me. I'm not a professional. There are lots of professionals on YouTube if you want to see how to paint something professionally or how to get a good paint job. I just do what I have been learning to do, and I'm still learning. Clear coat is about the most important thing whenever you're painting, because if you mess up the clear coat, you messed up your paint job. If you put too much on, you're going to get runs. If you don't put enough on, you're going to get dry spray. The right amount is hard to do. But with a light, it really helps. I got this light that goes on this gun. And you got the orange light, white light, and that helps me see my spray when I'm putting it down. So that's what we're using. I like this gun. It's an HTE gun. It's high transfer or something or other. I don't know the technical terms for it, but I like the gun. I need to get a new regulator because I can barely see my pressures. But we're going to mix up clear and we're going to put it on here. Your wait times are crucial as well. Depending on your temperatures and stuff, I'm finding like 20 to 35 minutes is a good wait time between coats. So we are going to wait at least 20 minutes between coats, and we're going to use this Glamour Clear. Now this is different than Shop Line, although I could use Shop Line because these are both urethane paints. So yes, I could. And this is 2 parts of clear to 1 part, so it doesn't go as far as Shop Line. The activator, UA, activate, that's what we're going to use. And I got 2 of those. But we're going to mix up a good bit because we're going to go through it. I'm going to mix it up in this because it's a lot easier than that. And I can mix up more. Don't spill this precious stuff, it's expensive. I have a liner in there, right? I definitely would have liked to have made more than that. We'll deal with that for right now. That's fine. I will say I'm having a lot of trouble seeing my wet line, and it's partially because of this bed being here. I don't know if I move my lights closer, if that will help. It might help. I got more coats to go, 2 more. I need to mix up more because I know I don't have enough for the next coat. And we'll go from there. Coat number 2. I moved my lights. Go time. One more coat. It's looking nice. Last coat. I'm not wearing this thing, okay? So this is a different clear than I normally use. That side looks okay. I don't know why, but I got runs on this side. I got a run right here, just a slight one. A slight one right there, like hard to see. I got one right here. I got one right there. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I still make mistakes. So, I do really like the color. But the more I look at it, I almost feel like it may be pewter. But it's going to look good on this truck regardless. But I still think, I think it might be pewter. I don't know. I hope it's not pewter. I hope it's cooler than pewter. All in all, I'm happy with it, but I went too heavy on that last coat. I was trying to make sure of the glass. That and the temperatures have drastically dropped in here since I started. I didn't want to turn the furnace on because of the overspray, so I left it off, and now the temperatures have depleted. I'd say we're probably 60 degrees, if not a little bit colder than 60. Which is not ideal for the clear. This side I didn't get any runs in the cab. The only ones I'm really worried about are the ones on the side of the cab that you can see. All the runs that are down behind the bed, I don't care. Alright, so I'm going to give this some time to flash before I demask it, if I have time today. I would like to demask it today, but it might not happen, I'm just saying. And it's fine if I don't. I'll get back to you guys once I get this demasked and we'll see what it looks like. Hopefully with a little bit better lighting.
Alright, so I had some time to dry. It's had all week actually. I really do like this color. It looks really good. I got massive runs like everywhere. Most noticeable being right in these square holes here. Massive runs. This clear does not work like the other clear that I use, so I was trying to lay it on thicker to get a nicer finish, and it bit me in the butt. The ones in the back of the cab, yes, I'm not worried about. The ones on the side of the cab, yes, I am worried about. So there's this one, okay, so that one's barely noticeable. There's one right here. This one right here, yes, we need to take care of that. And right here, we need to take care of that one. And then there's one more, but it's not really as noticeable, and it's down here at the very bottom of this crease. And I don't know that I'm going to get it or not, but they're there. So I'll probably take care of these ones and these ones, and if I'm feeling froggy, I'll take care of those. And I'm going to do it with a razor with tape on each end of the razor, scraping it to knock it down and then polishing it out. I'm gonna try that. Probably not on video because I don't want you guys to see me mess that up, because it's probably gonna happen. But if you like the color and you like the video, then smash that like button, consider subscribing, drop me a comment, let me know what you think of it. Hit that dislike button if your mom has massive runs. And we'll see you on the next episode of Unwrecked.
a jerk face? Hmm? Or are you being a jerk? Kind of giving me that look.
I've been trying to teach you. If you want a treat, you got to hit the treat button.
Treats?
You too. Huh? Or if not, you can hit the other one.
Asshole.
What? Who's that?